To the rulers of this nation, I can only say one word, is thank you. I mean, it's gratitude and thankfulness in my heart for being in this country. This country has given everything to me and my family. I mean, our dreams have been met. And what else can I say? I mean, but thank you.
Thank you to the leaders of this nation, and may God bless you abundantly for the way you have run this country. Thank you so much once again with all our heart.
تقرب منازلها إلا محب زايد أسسها واليوث وراها داروا على الدانات 7 أبد إلا دار زايد لا تقرب حماها لا تقرب منازلها إلا محب.
Our USP at Grub Shack is also a bar. Each and every drink you see here is created by us. My daughter and me and my family, we sat down at the lab and we created our own drinks. A lot of families like to come out here because we do a nice mocktails which are not found anywhere else in the country. Every drink here is unique. Like you see the one here, this is the Jack Frost that's coming up. And we have a very spicy, like in a jalapeno, like in a pani puri drink here as well. So basically, what we do here is just only 3 drinks here right now, but we got a whole list of drinks which are created here only at Grub Shack.
Welcome our viewers a new program, Pairs of Union. As we always do, we put a spotlight on successful people here in UAE.
Please welcome with me within Dubai City, the owner of Grub Shack restaurant, Mr. and Mrs. Mascarenhas. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So, please let us begin with introducing yourself and your practical and scientific stops.
Well, I'm Gemma. I've done high school, and then I was working at the Taj, where I met a lot of chefs, and then I got my passion for cooking. That's when I ran a catering business back home. And when we came here, we took it off from there.
My name is Mario. I come from Bombay. I'm a commerce graduate. My passion is music and food. I'm a foodie, so I live to eat. I decide my food for the day when I wake up. I played with a lot of bands in Bombay. I mean, I had a job in a pharmaceutical company, but I've been playing in a band of my own. I led a band, and we did about 80 to 100 gigs a year. And my passion for music is what is there. From Bombay, we came here to Dubai about 26 years ago. When I came to Dubai airport, I carried a bag of dreams, and I'm still unpacking. That's what Dubai has given me. So when I came to Dubai, I saw in the airport many nationalities. The country looks totally multifaceted and multicultural. So I said, one day if we own a restaurant, it should look like that. When I first came to Dubai, I started an events company, and we are one of the first event companies in the country. And my wife, she joined me into like events. But about 8 years ago, I thought, okay, let me give her dream back to her. So we started a small restaurant in Sharjah, a very small restaurant. And it did very well. We had a 4.9 rating in Sharjah. So that's when we decided 5 years ago actually, to start in where we are sitting right now. That is in like, in Healthcare City. I chose this venue because when you come here, it's quiet. In the evenings, it's more an office locality. In the evenings, there's a lot of parking. People come outside, it's quiet. And when you come here, it's a breakaway from home in the city. So like, for example, I did not choose like, Karama or Bur Dubai because it's, when you come home from work, you don't want to go back into noise, right? And find a parking and all that stuff. So here, when you come, you can come chill and you can come walk in this place. The ambience here is very, very homely. It's very retro. It's a bit modern. And then music. And so, if you go to our stage, you find music there. So it's a simple deal. And food is more home style and street style. So it's a travel theme, right? So wherever we have traveled, from Bombay to Goa, we bring the meal there. So for example, Bombay is known for its Chinese street food, which came all the way from China to Calcutta. In Calcutta, they have a Chinatown, and the food came to Bombay because it's a metro city. And Bombay is the most buzzing city in India, where food, right? So we bought the taste of Chinese, which is on the streets, which is more Indo-Chinese. And on the way to Goa, we get into some different parts where we get different food. So plus we bought in some North Indian food here as well, because a lot of locals come here and a lot of expats come here and they love butter chicken, they love biryani. So we added that to our menu. And then we go to Goa. Goa's, the Portuguese bought in their menu and it got dragonized, don't say dragonized because the Portuguese don't go dragonized, but we specified it to make it spicy. So it was Portuguese cuisine that married the Indian cuisine. And so we come up with this Goan food, right, which is spicy. Goan food is the two types. One is cooked in, all the spices are ground in vinegar, so it's more pickled. It stays for a long time, or it's a coastal place. So it's like all coconut based. So it's coconut, based like gravies. So that's what our deal is about Goa. Also, Goa is a place where a lot of tourists come there. It's a place that's happening. A lot of parties. A lot of food places, a lot of beaches to relax. So when you come in this place and you sit down here, you find that vibe which is very positive. I mean, you can come here and I like this place because there's an old song saying "Wonderful World." Let's say I see people holding hands, saying "How do you do?" What I'm really saying is "I love you." We see people walking around from table to table saying hello. It's more a hangout place. It's a place not for just food. I mean, if you want food, you can go to many places in the city. But here you can come, you have a band playing on stage. We have the concept of the singing waiter and waitress, where the waiter and waitress is playing on stage as well. We have the food, which is very home style. Now, I've had a customer walk in and started crying on the table. So I asked him, why are you crying, man? He's like, no, it's in my grandmother's food, which I missed for like last 10 years. I'm in the UAE. So that's all about what I said.
It's a very homely feeling, basically.
Wonderful. So we always know that beginnings is the most important thing. When did you decide to open your own business, and how's that goes with you?
Well, the first business that actually opened was the event company, which was about 27 years back.
Yeah, 26, 27 years
26, when we first came to Dubai. I mean, he being a musician, he was always in the band. So he started to think about opening an event company called Powerhouse. And for 27 years now, that company has been running, which is still existing. And it's 8 years back that Grub Shack took birth. So we have two businesses actually happening here.
Okay, the reason why we started a business, right? I mean, she was working with me for almost 15 years, not 15, maybe almost 18 years. And I was thinking to myself, she's getting bored. I mean, how long can she work for me and serve me? So I said, okay, let me give her dream back. So I was looking for a place to start a restaurant. Now, to start up a restaurant, I mean, it's a very expensive affair. So I looked for a small place which was already a restaurant. So we bought a place that was already, which was running and closed down, and I refurbished it. And we started a small restaurant with the name of Grub Shack. The name Grub means food, and the word shack is a small house. So it's like more like comfort food,
home food.
Yeah. Yes, like you're in own house.
Yeah, own house. So when you're traveling, Goa or something, or on the road, you get these shacks, sell food. It's like Grub Shack. So we thought of the word Grub Shack because the first place was really small, so we called it Grub Shack. From there, we got really, really famous. In fact, it's a really, really small shop with only about 14 covers. And we were getting packed there and people were waiting, going home. The food got famous. We had a 4.9 rating on like Zomato, and people started asking us why not start a new one. So there you go. We looked for places all around town. We went to Karama, we went to every place, but then we closed down on this place. But a beach that served, would be on a beach that goes on with the Goan theme. But this one suits me because in Goa we also have villages, and we have these really good restaurants like in a village. So this is why I chose this place because it's quiet. In the night you come here, it's peaceful. It's up from the noise. I mean, you want to come with your family after a day of hard work, have a shower, tell your kids and wife, okay, let's go out, let's go to eat, come to Grub Shack. Because it's away from the noise. It's a holiday in our day or a breakout, where you feel the peaceful vibe and you feel music, you feel love, you feel peace. All that you get in this restaurant. Yeah.
No, initially we wanted actually a location which would really suit our food is the beach, where you have bean bags out, because that is something that goes well with our food. But our initial plan was to have Grub Shack on the beach, to be very comfortable and chilled out basically.
Nice. Every successful business face up obstacles and difficulties. Can you tell us more about these obstacles?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, talking about difficulties, yes. For us, we come from a catering background, and I'm sorry I'm talking a lot because she wanted me to talk. No. She's the person who, I do all the talking, and she does the ground reality. She's the one who does the action.
I'm happy to hear you.
Yeah. So, when we first came into Dubai, to start a restaurant for me was new. I never had a restaurant before. Though we run a catering business. Catering business is totally different. It's like a job to job. Where a client comes to you and tells them what catering you want. You cook the food, and depending on the setup for that night and the theme for that night, you serve the food and it's over. And probably you do 3 or 4 or 5 caterings a month, and that's it. Yeah, we're running an everyday kitchen. Yeah, and it has a lot of things. There are a lot of rules that you get to learn. The municipality rules. There are things I did not know about permissions that were required to start, which was a challenge. Because certain permissions took time, and they took a lot of time to get done. Also to get new vendors, to find out the real vendors, to find out the Dubai rules with frozen food, fresh food. There are many aspects to a restaurant, because in a restaurant, everything has to be done as per health and safety and municipality rules.
That is the main thing.
Yeah, that is the main thing. And we cook food in my restaurant, which she'll tell you. Even my kids eat here. Eat food from here. So it has to be food with the ingredients that are high quality, that is like we do in my house. So because home style, we bring up that flavors and food that we cook in the house, the same quality of food here. Yeah. So one of the main difficulties we found was finding the right contractors to start this place.
Yeah, that was the main challenge for us.
Yeah, the two difficulties one gets to start a restaurant is discerning how long it takes to start a restaurant. Now, I met up with people and they gave me a time slot of 4 months to 5 months, and really, you got to do your homework. I did not do my homework, and I got my fingers burnt. If you're doing a new restaurant or any business, you got to check first to do the whole spade work, because we did one small restaurant, we thought it went well and everything is like, is the same. But when you get into a bigger project, it's a lot of more challenges come into play. And again, from Sharjah to Dubai, it's a different location, different set of rules. But when you're finalizing on a contractor, it's very, very important to check his work, to check his clients, to find out exactly what work he did for them, were they happy or were they not. And also the other part is finance. We started a company making the wrong calculations, which was actually half the amount that we really spent. The budget's doubled, more than doubled. So those are the difficulties for me, and I would like to give the advice for people who start new, like a new business. Do a business plan and figure out your whole costing properly, and put a contingency plan in place. Because for me, my restaurant was supposed to start in 4 months. It started in 18 months, and your staff just lying there for 9 months doing no work, and you got to pay salaries. Just puts you on a wrong footing from day one. So yeah, we had to then get in partners, which I have now, to fund in a certain part, and we are going to be expanding as well. But these are the small not small, the big challenges we face when we start a company, you know. Yeah.
As you know, here in United Arab Emirates, the market is a highly competitive market, especially in your field, food field. And to be special is the key for success. What makes your restaurant special?
What makes my restaurant special? My USP is of the restaurant is home style food. I mean, if you look at the world over now, I mean, there are too many people entering the food business. It's like, okay, food makes you money, let me jump in. Let me find an investor, let me start a business. And then, you know, the menu is the same everywhere. But no, I mean, I'm a foodie. I mean, I live to eat. My kids, my two daughters are foodies as well. They're cooks as well. One of my daughters is a qualified chef, and the other one is good at food. She's done the whole interiors of, like, you know, of this place. She's very tasteful. She gets my stuff done with my platings and a lot of stuff. But what makes me different is when you walk into Grub Shack, it's an experience. In a restaurant like this, you walk in the door. From the time you walk in the door and the hostess says hello to you, it's more like a 5-star experience on the street. So you come in, you know, you're given your table and the whole experience from the service to the food, which is A quality. We don't compromise on our, like, you know, ingredients. Our menu is made by us. I mean, you look at everything that we do from Bombay to Goa. Yes, a lot of the dishes are common, but 60% of the menu is what we have done ourselves. It's all her home style recipes from my home that have come in here. She travels a lot. We travel a lot of places in the world. For example, we went to Bangkok. We saw a prawn, you know, a fiery wok prawn done on the street, which is not your regular Thai food. And we said, okay, let's do it. As a tribute to Singapore, we bought a Singapore crab here, and, like, you know, because that was the country I used to visit before I came to Dubai. So we do the Singapore crab here with her own version of the twist with it. We went to Goa, on the border of Goa, and we bought in a dish made by squid. Now, squid is normally a crumb fried, you know, squid rings, but we do it differently with a lot of spices. That makes it different. So our USP is really creating our own food. We update our menu every 3 months. Every month almost we have a special that comes from our home here. She's now started her own blog channel, where during COVID, you know, it was a bit difficult. So she's brought out her own recipes from the home to empower women in the country to start cooking at home. So we bought a lot of home style menus, which she's on YouTube as well, doing those type of things, you know, to give back to the country basically. I mean, at tough time like this, not everybody can afford to come to the restaurant. So, you know, some people have started to learn to cook their own food. So she's got her own blog page and she's got her own YouTube page. And in fact, one of her recipes hit about 110K views. You know, that was pretty nice. Okay.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So the USP here is also the music. You don't get a roadside, I mean, you don't get a street style place that has music inside. Very few in Dubai. I mean, you can count on the fingers. So it's like, you know, we do music here from old school jazz to rock and roll to ballads, love songs. We have a grand piano in there. The main thing, I put a stage in there because when I was growing up, you know, when I was growing up as a kid, as a 14, 15-year-old, it's very difficult to get a place to play. So when my customers come in, they can, of course, not these COVID times, but in a normal time, a group of people can come up and go on the stage and they can play, as long as they're playing good music. I mean, we can stop them playing, but if they want a space to play, like suppose, you know, a friend of yours got one song. I mean, where can he go and in the city and, you know, play one song? You can come here and do your one song, and then you got access to a lot of people who are sitting down there and they'll listen to your song. And they listen to your song, they clap for your song. That gives you like encouragement to do another song, right? I mean, so you go home and you write a song. So
a positive energy. Yeah. Let's give her a positive energy.
Yeah. So we are trying to encourage local artists coming here. We have a lot of theme nights here. At the moment, we are running an Instagram night. We are running a ladies' night where drinks are free for, like, you know, Like for ladies, we're running theme nights like an 80s night. You can come dressed up in the 80s and we have prizes. And we do a lot of things happening here, buzzing all the time. Since I'm from the events industry, we try to bring a lot of like events happening in the space as well. We also open up the space for people can come and do the lunch meets. We have televisions up here. You know, we can do your PowerPoint presentations. You can have a stage there. You have a microphone there. Somebody's doing a party or somebody's doing an office meet or a small press meet or a conference. You know, for the people, they can come here and they can use the whole space. I mean, it's cheaper definitely than you go out and pay a lot of money. And if you do it in a time like the morning, for example, where my restaurant is not really busy, we can give them a good deal. I mean, somebody can book out the place from 9 to 12 or 9 to 1 or, and we can block the whole place.
Also, we know United Arab Emirates provide a good environment for investment.
For?
Investment. For business.
Yeah.
Yes. So how this environment reflect on you and your business?
Okay, talking about the UAE, as I said, when I came into Dubai, I came with a bag of dreams and I'm still unpacking. Yep. Dubai is a land of opportunities, definitely. What I would tell people is, first of all, when you walk into this country, you got to have a positive energy for this country. When you wake up in the morning, you should bless this country and this land and pray for the rulers. Trust me, you should. Because if you're going to grumble about this country, then you shouldn't do anything here. You should pack up and go home. Okay? This is my feeling is that if I'm in this country and I love its policies, I love its principles, I love that I'm a Christian, I love the fact that there's equal opportunity for all. I don't see discrimination here. I mean, of course, you find some discrimination happening that's not created by the government, but people by the skin color was created by themselves. But from the government side, it's a pretty land of good opportunities for all. And I think, for example, I mean, look at Bombay, okay? I can go in a taxi in Bombay and I can see a car next to me and it's a Mercedes Benz, right? I cannot think of buying it, right? Now I'm going in my car or in a taxi here and I'm just come to this country 6 months and I see somebody in a Mercedes Benz. I'm like, man, I need a car. I want it. I can work towards it in a short period of time. And Dubai allows you that. It allows you that opportunity to grow, where you can increase your lifestyle and you can have what you want. You can pursue your dreams. That's what I feel.
Wonderful. If you agree with me, success always is not an individual work. Who's the people behind you and behind your success?
Okay, the person who is behind the success of my life, this Grub Shack restaurant that we own, is my God. I mean, if it was not for him, today we would not be where we are. I mean, we are grateful for that.
You have a lot of difficulties, and trust me, I mean, the difficulties we faced, we should have been shut down by now.
Yeah.
I mean, when we started, we were in deep problems. I mean, but we saw it through and we started the restaurant. The other people I would like to thank is my family. My family has some great people in there. I have my daughters and I have a great son-in-law. And we brainstorm a lot of stuff. I mean, they're into food. We talk about food till 2 a.m. in the morning. And basically, they're a great support. I mean, so I thank, my family, yes. And there are a few friends I would thank as well. I mean, who've been there in thick and thin. When I was in trouble, they saw me out of it. I mean, they put in money here when, I needed it. I mean, yes, recently, 2 years ago, we have new partners in this business. They've been a great help too. Yeah. So we call it our restaurant now with my new partners. But yeah. And of course, the people who make this brand a success is the staff. I mean, without your staff, you're nothing. It's like a captain without his team. You don't have a team, you have nothing. So we have some great staff. I mean, the staff would really work hard. I mean, these guys will do anything for me. Even in these COVID times, they've had to, they've been with me in times of tough times and they understand stuff and, still work hard. There are challenges with a lot of stuff. So I would say my staff as well. Yeah. And lastly, I'm thankful to God for this country. Bombay, I don't think would have given me this dream. Back home. Because there's too much of red tapeism and getting in stuff that's difficult. If I go there now, it'll be easy. But when you have nothing, to have something is difficult. but like this country is, has given me everything. I've got three daughters. One is 30, one is 23, one is 10 years old. I have 4 grandchildren and 1 more on the way. So besides one that was born in in Bombay, I mean, everything that we have is born here. So my company was born here. My kids were born here, and my grandchildren are born here, and my new endeavors will be born here, right? So till I say till I say goodbye, which I am not sure when or would I, because I see myself doing a lot more here before I leave. Yeah, I consider this home. Yeah.
Very nice. What is the word success means to Mrs. Gemma and Mr. Mario?
What is?
The word success.
The word success to me is when I get a big order from His Highness Sheikh Hamdan, who orders food from me from the palace. I mean, it's a dream come true. I mean, you want to start a restaurant and you're thinking, what is success to you? What bigger success would be than to serve the king or the prince, of a nation? I mean, that's big success. That's a success story in itself. And yes, the people who come to the restaurant and they love the food and they tag us. I mean, we have such good testimonies on on Zomato and everywhere else. The plan is to expand to a few Emirates. We are looking at Al Ain and we're looking at Abu Dhabi. We have one in Sharjah. Yeah, and then we want to go international as well. I have had offers for London and for Singapore as well. So we're looking at that as well.
Yeah.
As a successful personalities here in United Arab Emirates, what would you say for our young men and women as a motivational message?
Yeah, I give it 2 messages. Why don't you talk about passion?
Yeah, I would say if you have passion, you should just follow your dreams. That's very important. Just go for it. Don't fear anything. Just do what you feel your heart is telling you to do. So just follow your dreams and your passion will follow you.
The message I would like to give to young people, especially who dream of doing a business, is first of all, while you're working right now, serve your master well. Because in serving somebody, God prepares you for a position where you can be served, right? And I have this very one line which I give people who come to my office for an interview. I said, are you passionately inquisitive? For example, when I say passionately inquisitive, means I can work in a company and I can just do a job, sit at my desk and do, or I'm passionately inquisitive about knowing the whole business. I want to know my friend's job, I want to do this job, so when somebody is on a leave, I want to do that. But then in doing all that, you learn and have a whole business. So in serving your employer well, it's a blessing from God to promote you to be an owner one day. So that's my motivational message.
We are all blessed to be here in United Arab Emirates. What would you say to our leaders here in UAE?
I pray prosperity and health to the rulers and to everybody in this nation. I mean, I pray that this nation, at the moment, in COVID times, I'm hearing that it's one of the best places to be in the world today. Is why? Because you have health facilities. I mean, there is, like in Goa, we have bars every corner. Here we have a hospital every corner, right? So the facilities in education and in medicals is so good here. With regards to the health and safety measures and the rules of the government, I think we as citizens, whether we own businesses or we don't, we have to definitely go with the directives set by the government. Like for example, I can either pack this restaurant and put more tables and chairs, or you look around, we've taken out 40% of the seating from this restaurant to make it safe not only for the people who come in there, for my staff as well. We are all family, right? The whole country, we are family. So we have to be sensitive about, the virus, not being able to spread. We have to flatten the curve. We can only do that if we keep rules.
We abide with the rules.
We abide with the rules and we're sensitive to wearing a mask and doing simple things like washing our hands and things like that. And we can either be greedy and say no, we don't do it. But it's going to help whom at the end of the day? It's going to help the country at the end of the day, it's going to help me at the end of the day. If every mindset of every citizen in this country or doing business or expat is to look at the government as a blessing and not, like the rules being put on you. Like for example, when you're in your house, what your father tells you is for your own good, right? So you follow him because you trust him fully, right?